There we go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Monday morning musing. I'm Sandra Madaffrey for those who don't know me. If you are watching on Facebook and you would like to be a part of the webinar, the registration link is in the title of this video. Please come along and join us. For everyone else, welcome to another Monday morning. I know we've got a couple of people on here, so if you would like to say hello. Good morning. Hi, Fatima. How are you? Nice to see you here this morning. Whoever joins, I'd love to say hello. If you are watching on Facebook, say hello as well. But if you are watching on Facebook, hi, Desiree, and you would like to come over and watch this presentation and get a recording, please do so. The link is there. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Monday morning. Oh, thank you, Fatima. Monday morning musing webinar. And today is something that one of my passions is to get things that seem so incredibly complicated and break them down for you so that you understand exactly how to do things in a more simplistic way. I learned from my business that when I started an online business, and then I actually jumped on board with a coach, I found that everything that was being taught to me was quite complicated. So what I enjoyed doing is to grab some what seemed to be really complicated type issues and show everyone how to simplify them, and to simplify them in a way that still absolutely works and has great results. Again, there's a couple of people on Facebook. If you would like to jump over, the link is in the description of this video. Jump over, join us on the webinar, and you can ask questions. For everyone who is on the webinar this morning, please do ask any questions that you might have. So let's get started. So all about funnels today. And not I have to say, not one of my most favorite subjects, but something that is really, really important to know. Okay, so let's get started. So what is a funnel? First of all, a funnel is basically something that you need to do, and exactly what it says, funnel down, where you capture at the top of the funnel lots of cold leads, potential clients, all those sorts of things. And the whole objective of it is to push people down the funnel into your top level or highest pricing programs or one-on-ones that you do. Now, one of the things that I never did when I started my business, which was a massive mistake, I didn't have funnels, I didn't have programs, and what was happening is I was seeing clients on a one-off basis, and things, you know, like these clients weren't getting the results that they needed. And then, of course, once I understood what this was all about, I ended up creating programs and funnels, and now work people, capture people at the top of my funnel and slowly work them down into the funnel, into the one-on-one or higher price programs, the ultimate VIP programs, so to speak. Now, funnels can also work across, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that. So sometimes you funnel people across and then down. So it sounds a little bit complicated, but it actually isn't when you get the gist of how to do this. And I'm going to show you how to do these in a really easy way, because one of the biggest questions I get from my mastermind students is, what do I create for my top or middle of the funnel? So we're going to go a little bit through that and just talk a little bit about how to do this. Now, again, there's a few people here on Facebook. Please jump over if you want to join the webinar. We've got all the slides and everything there, and you can jump in and ask me some questions. Whoever is here on this webinar, please do not hesitate to ask questions as we go along. So right at the top of your funnel, you've got low or free offers, and usually a low to free offer is free, zero, to about $99. That's what we call a low to free offer. So this is where you're wanting to showcase what you do to people who basically don't know you. So we call them cold leads. These are people that you interact with on Facebook, people that you interact with outside of Facebook too, which is a little bit hard at the moment. But before the lockdown, we were interacting, having a lot of meetups and networking. So what you want to do is, people are more likely to buy from you if they understand you. And it is our job to educate our potential clients in how we can help them and also what we can help them with. So right at the top of the funnel, the biggest capture of people that you need is in a low or free offer. Now, it's really important to understand that not everyone who's going to come in and buy a low or a free offer from you will continue down into the funnel. So that's why for those who are looking at the slide, you see the triangle's quite big at the top. It's depending on what you're doing and depending on how long you've been online, depending on the sort of email lists that you have, all those sorts of things. The average is about 1 to 10. So for every 100 people that you have at the top low or free offer, about 1/10 of those, so 110, and then one person should buy into your high price offer. So something really important to remember, that when you're moving people down the funnel, that you know how many people you need to capture at the top to be able to create your goals at the bottom. And guys, all these half-an-hour videos, if you look at them all, I've been doing these for almost 3 months now, they all interlink. So we've got a video on how to create those financial goals and how to work this backwards as well. So then the middle of the funnel is what we call your medium offer, usually around $99 to $500. Again, this is where you're going to move people from that low to free into the medium offer. You also, of course, can sometimes move people across. They might go from a freebie into a low price across that top of the funnel and then move down. Sometimes people won't even opt into that top of the funnel. They just go straight into the medium offer. But the whole idea behind this is that it's easier to have someone spend less money to get to know you than if you all of a sudden put an offer on the table which is worth a couple of $1,000s. Okay, I'm not saying that you cannot get people from your low or free offer into your big programs, because you can, and I do that quite often, but a lot of people need to just be warmed up. So taking people down this funnel is warming people up, so to speak. And then of course you've got your high ticket offer, which can be anything from $500 to thousands of dollars. Now, this is just a basic amounts that I've put here. There are people that do have offers that are a lot more expensive, like the medium offers can be already a couple of thousand, and then we go into very high end offers of thousands, but that will depend on your business. But basically this shows you someone who possibly has a high ticket offer of $1,000, $2,000. This is basically how they would get people from not knowing who they are, completely cold leads, into understanding what they need and then buying off them. So if anyone has any comments, please pop the comments in the chat box. I'd love to hear what you think of this. So the whole idea, as I said, is to move people down your funnel from not knowing you, educating them down into buying a high ticket offer from you or becoming one of your VIP clients. There's quite a few people on Facebook. Please jump across if you want to come and have a look at the PowerPoint. Just follow the link and you can register and jump on. Okay, just jumped on, Kylie. We'll watch the replay. You haven't missed a lot yet. It was just a little bit about the funnels. So let's start having a look at these funnels and how to reverse engineer. And by reverse engineer, I mean we start at the bottom and work our way up. A lot of people get bogged down with the top of the funnel and they don't think about the bottom. But remember, because our aim is to get people from the top down into the bottom, we've got to think, what do we want to create? So we've got to start at the bottom. Where do you want these people to go? So the high ticket offer, you have to start at the bottom. And when I talk about a high ticket offer, like I said before, this could be a different price point for different items or for different people. It depends on your business, what your high ticket offer is. And what you want to be doing in the high ticket offer is you're showing your VIP clients how to create transformation, how to change their pain point. So here also too, you need to have a think of what is it that you're doing? What is your niche, and how does your client in your niche? And next week we'll actually have my webinar next week is about creating your niche and how to create a niche. So how do you get a person who comes to you with the pain point that you look after and transform them or show them how to make the changes to where they want to be? So your high-end ticket offer should always be, how are they going to do it? Now, the client doesn't necessarily need to know how they're going to do it. When I have clients come to me, when I have clients either come to me for therapy or they come to me for my business model, I don't sit there and tell them exactly how I'm going to use hypnosis and I'm going to use NLP. They are not interested in how I do it. That is for me to know, how do I do this? And that's one of the big mistakes a lot of people make, is that they give their clients the how, but a client who is willing to work with you is not interested in how you're going to do it. They just want results. Okay, so let's have a look at the how. The how is your program, your finer details of what you're going to do, whether it is a one-on-one program or a one-to-many or whatever it is that you're going to do. The how is the finer details, the actual nitty-gritty of how you're going to move a person from where they are to where they want to be. So it's a deep dive. Right now, I'm working with you guys at the top of the funnel. This is the top of the funnel, and people that work down my funnel, when we get into the how, we go into a real deep dive of what it is that they need to do to get to where they want to be. Okay, so it could be weekly sessions, what's the content, whatever it is, how are you going to do it? And you need to work that out first. You need to know where you want to take people, how you're going to do it, what's involved, what's the deep dive. And you can do one-to-one or one-to-many sessions. Now, you can also have, now this is one thing where people get confused, okay? You can have two funnels working on the same thing. Let's say, and that's what I do. I have programs, which are one of my higher priced and programs that I do, but then people can go into my one-on-one sessions as well. So people can go from one-to-many to one-to-one sessions once they're in this lower price. So funnels, we often talk about the funnel going down, but we never talk about the funnel going across. And what happens is, I spoke about this again a couple of weeks ago, that people, once someone's worked with you, they forget about the client. They think they've worked with me. Oh, Gus, jump onto where? Can you see in the comments of this video, there's a link to the actual webinar. If you click on that, you'll go to Zoom and you'll be able to jump onto the Zoom link. Let me see if I can add it into the comments here as well for you. There you go. Jump onto that Zoom webinar, register, and you'll be able to see. Okay. So this is the one thing people forget. They often think they have to funnel people straight down. They don't, and then once they've got them into their one-on-one programs, they don't think about, moving them across in their higher prices. They think, well, they're finished with me, they're not, and you create another high price item and you think my client's not going to want to do that. So don't make that mistake, because I have a lot of clients which will go into a high-end program or go into a one-to-many high-end program and then want to do one-on-one sessions with me as well. So you can take people sideways in this funnel as well. So like I said, do not make that mistake. Okay, because people sometimes will need, especially if you have a very high price item in the thousands, will need quite a bit of education to understand what they need from you or what they can achieve working with you. So don't forget to do that. And when we talk about these funnels, you know, really what people think is that clients have to go straight down into the middle, and you miss the point. It's both. Esther, you can go sideways or up or down, and it just depends what you want a client to do. I often have people going not just up and down, but sideways as well. So what usually happens to me is that people will jump on one of my higher priced programs, which is weekly coaching, and then they will also go sideways, and then so they want to have one-on-one sessions. Okay, by the difference. Okay, so the difference here being that if you funnel people into the freebie down, okay, you go freebie, middle, and then one offer. But sometimes you might have more than one offer, which is high priced. For instance, I have trainings which are high priced, and I have programs which are high priced, and one-on-one sessions. So they're all high ticket offers. So what I do, one of the things that was taught to me is that you have to have one funnel, okay? You don't have to have one funnel that does one thing. When I funnel people down into my funnel, I look at what's the best thing for them, okay? And sometimes we need to go sideways rather than just, you know, they come in, they have one-on-one sessions with me, and then they're out of the funnel. No, I look at how can I put them into another program that they can work with me, which is not necessarily going flexibility. Absolutely, Kylie. So I hope that makes sense. This is just, some people would say it's different funnels, but this is where things become confusing. Okay, they can be different funnels, but the whole thing is that if you got 3 or 4 different funnels, where do you take your clients to? So what I do is I have a program called the 7 Steps to Living with Intention. I run one-on-one sessions with that, and I also have programs with that. And tomorrow night, I've got an 8-week program starting with that. So people don't have to go down separate funnels. That is what I do. I teach the 7 Steps to Living with Intention, and I have different higher price offerings for that. Okay, so I know this sounds like it might be a little bit more confusing, but it's not necessarily, and people can go from my program into my one-on-ones. What tends to happen, and what I've seen a lot of people teach, is that they come out of this funnel and then they have to start into another funnel, but not necessarily. The whole idea is your niche. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that next week. What is your higher priced items in your niche? Usually $500 and up. They are all your higher price items. So a client can go from a $500 item to a $2,000 item across the bottom of the funnel. But the messages, what I'm trying to say is it's all the same sort of things, and it will depend on you how you want to define this lower priced, this higher priced offer. Okay, and these are the sort of things that I work with one-on-one with my clients. We work on what their funnel, what they use in their funnels, and one of the things we do, and we always start on looking at the how and the program, how to get people to where they are. So I hope that made sense, guys. So then we've got our middle item, okay? And here is where you teach or educate your client what they need. Okay, so remember the program is the how, the middle is what they need. So you educate the client on what they need. Remember, most people don't know what they need. They have a pain point, but they don't know what they need. So you use that middle funnel to educate your client on what you need. Now, how do you do this? Okay. Key points of your modules, key points of what you've got in the higher priced program. That is exactly part of what I'm doing right now. Okay, I'm showing you guys and educating you on what you need to do. I'm not showing you 100% how. The how is in the real finer details. I'm actually really showing you what you want, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But if you run a more lower price item, which is a medium, a little bit lower than your higher, or wherever you want to price that, that's again another whole module on how do you price your items. But your middle ticket offer needs to be, you educate the client on what they need so that they understand what they need, and then they will buy in to your higher price item. Okay, so it's an overview of your program. You're not showing them how, you're just showing them what they need to do. And so this is just a very small amount of things you can do with people here: workshops, trainings, paid webinars, and you're moving them down. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do here. People often do things like paid programs in this area as well. Now, the rough price that I said is $500. It doesn't necessarily need to be $500. You need to work out your own pricing, okay? And again here, and this happens all the time, I get people working across. Okay, so I'll get people that will come to a paid webinar, and then they might jump into one of the workshops in the same medium ticket offer. Okay, or they might come to one of my trainings and then they either move down into another training that's more expensive, or they might move across into a workshop. So this is where people don't understand that you look at, you can have many, many, many facets to running a funnel, and people don't always have to run down. They sometimes need to go across, and I have seen many clients who are not able at that moment, or the client isn't ready to go to the next level, so they let them go and they think, oh, they're not part of my funnel anymore. But that isn't true. Some people just need to be warmed up a little bit more. So the way I create my funnels is that I have multiple things in all single levels, but the whole idea is that when I reverse engineer them, there's really one funnel that I start with. Okay, and it's the how at the bottom and what I need to show them in the middle to get them down into the how. Because at the end of the day, really what I'm wanting is to get people down into my higher price items so that I can give them the best service possible and they can get the most out of what we're doing. So I hope this makes sense, guys. But this is how you do your middle of the funnel. You need to educate the client on what they need. Okay, so the client has a pain point. They know they want to change something, and a lot of the time they don't know what they need. So this is where this part of the funnel comes in. And it's easier to get someone who doesn't know what they need, that you start educating them and that you push them into this middle funnel, and they might go into a $30 half-day workshop, and then there you start to teach them what they need to do. And then they understand, oh, okay, now I need to work with this person because I don't know how. Okay, so key points in your modules, key points in your hows, and an overview of what your program is. When I do my 7 steps to living with intention, Here in this needs, I show them 3 of the steps. We don't go into it in massive details, but I do show them 3 things that they need to change immediately to be able to change themselves from their pain point to where they want to be. And most of the time people will then want to go into the next level because they want to know the absolute how and learn all the other 4 steps as well. Okay. And then let's look at the top of the funnel. This is the lead magnet. This is where people are completely cold. They don't know who you are, and you're trying to capture them. And it's really important. And the slides, for some reason, the animations haven't worked on this. But this is the wants. This is what the client wants. Your niche is the client's pain point. And here, it's what they want. You are educating them on what they want. So an overview again. So what we're doing is we're getting really specific down the bottom, and then we're getting more generalized towards the top. So you want to show them what they want. Okay, so I'm showing you guys how to create funnels. That's what you want. Okay, we've spoken a little bit, you know, sometimes these do overlap, but I haven't shown you exactly how to create your programs, how to create this funnel, what we do, the price points, all those sorts of things. Okay, so you're showing the client what they want and easy steps. The way people love these is some easy steps. People don't want to get bogged down with lots of information at this point. They just want to know how to change something really quickly. Okay, so you're educating them on what they want to do. So one of the wants that I've given you, one of the steps that I've given you is that you need to reverse engineer. Okay. The other thing you can do here is one module. You can teach one of your modules. I see this all the time where people might teach the very first module, the very first step, the very first thing that needs to happen for them to be able to get what they want. Okay? Or you can also teach one little specific part of each module, and that's what I do. So right now I'm giving you a free teaching or education on how to create a funnel, and I'm giving you one part of one of the modules that we work on. Okay, so one of the modules we work on is creating a funnel, and this is just one part, which is the reverse engineering. Okay, so how do we do this? Freebies, ebooks, webinars, talks, workshops, it just goes on and on. And the whole idea of doing these freebies, ebooks, webinars, talks, workshops, and there's so many things that you can do here, guys, is to either push people down into your next level or to warm them up by putting them into an email list, a Facebook group, on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page, or on your LinkedIn profile. What people do in funnels, which is a massive, massive, massive mistake, is that they think they need, and this is where it makes probably a little bit more sense for you, Esther, they think they need to push people down the funnel. People need to be nurtured. People buy from you not as much because of your offer, but because of who you are. And you need to build trust. So when we talk about these low ticket lead magnets, you need to be able to look at how you can move people in between the lead magnets so that you guys are all here now. This is a free webinar, half an hour webinar that I'm giving to you, and I made big changes, and this confirms I was. Well done, Kylie. Good to see that you've made big changes. And I know this is different than what a lot of people teach, But for the guys that are in my mastermind group, they know that I don't teach anything unless I've practiced it, and this is what works. And I see so many people that think that they need to do a free webinar and they have to move people down into the next level. Well, you don't, because everyone who's on this webinar is now going into my email list. If you want to join my Facebook groups, please do. Find me on my Facebook page, find me on Instagram, find me on LinkedIn, where you can see more about how I work. And this is how people get to know and trust you. In the world that we live in at the moment, with so many people yelling out at you on social media, you need to build trust. So yet you do want, the whole idea is that we eventually want to get people down into that funnel, but you can move them across as well. And don't think that someone who doesn't move down in the funnel is not your client. They might need more education. They might not be quite sure of what they want right now. Then they don't know what they need. So, you know, what will happen is they'll move down and they'll go, I don't know what I need. And that's where you educate them in that middle part of the funnel what they need. Once they have what they need and they know that you can give it to them, they'll want to know how. Okay, so this, and the other mistake that a lot of people do when they create funnels is they don't share their best work. Now, can you imagine, guys, if I'm sharing this with you, can you imagine what my masterminds work with me on? How deep we dive into their funnels and creating their lead magnets. And all the different information that they get when we start looking at how to create these lead magnets and what to do. Okay, so keep that in mind, that you don't have to just funnel people down. That is the idea of a funnel, and you do want people to keep opting in, but sometimes people need to get to know you a little bit more. So they need a little bit more of the freebie stuff. They need a little bit more of something that's a medium price offer that they buy first, and then once they get to know you and they see how you work and they know you're a good fit, then they will come into your high price items. Okay, so we've gone over time, guys, but that's all right. So I want to say thank you. If anyone has any questions, please ask before I jump off. This will be sent to everyone as a recording. I've changed a couple of things around how I'm doing this at the moment because of some no problems, Fatima, because of no problems, Esther. Because of the some of the Zoom issues that I've been having, I have changed how you will receive this recording. Nice to see you, Marion. So you will get an email with a link to the YouTube channel that this is going to be put on, because we've been having a lot of trouble with people trying to review the recording through Zoom, so I'm taking it out of Zoom. So thank you guys for being here. Next week, I've got one on 5 easy steps to be able to identify your niche. This is the one problem that people have. And of course, before you can even create a funnel, you need a niche. So I'm going to show you 5 easy ways for you to get a niche, and no problems, Ree, and how to create a niche that you are confident with. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. The information for the next webinar, as usual, my VA puts that all up on a Thursday. So just re-register. We've had to do that. Oh, good to see you here, Gus. Just re-register. I'm sorry we've had to do that. When we tried to do mass registration, Zoom was having a lot of problems. So if it's something you're interested in, just re-register. But next week, we're going to talk a little bit about your niche. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, please reach out. For those that want to follow me, like I said, let's move you across. Okay, I'm very transparent in what I do. You can find me on Facebook, Sandra Madaffrey. You can find me on Instagram, Sandra Madaffrey. training and mentoring, and you can find me on LinkedIn. Once you jump on Facebook, I can put you into my groups. I've got a couple of groups of where I work with people very closely as well. So I look forward to, there's a few people that are on this that are actually coming into my 8-week program tomorrow night, the Leading with Intention program. So excited. That is going to be on the next level, especially because of some of the training that I've been doing in the last couple of weeks, which I'm now going to, of course, incorporate and enhance that training with that. So if anyone is not in that program and wants to know more, reach out. 8 weeks to transform your life. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.